Good evening, everyone. My name is Gina Wilson, and I'm the Family and Civic Engagement Coordinator for the district. And I want to begin by thanking everyone on our call this evening. The town hall for this month is the Road to Readiness Pathways to Success After High School. So we wanted to bring some opportunities to our students, families, and community, and offer supports and information on what is to come after graduation. I want to encourage our audience to participate. If you have any questions, to please add them to our YouTube chat. You can text any questions to 216-777-2279. And we will be sure that we answer them in the order that they come in. So I want to pass it over to our DEI consultant, Miss Yolanda Hamilton, for an introduction. And thank you again for joining us tonight.
Yes, thank you to everyone for joining us again. My name is Yolanda Hamilton. I'm the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Consultant with the Garfield Heights City School District. I just want to also thank our Director of Technology, Ms. Sherry Bailey, for making this event possible tonight. I'm so excited about this opportunity for us to bring this Equity Town Hall, the Road to Readiness Pathways to Success After High School. We wanted to provide an informational opportunity for those in our district to learn more about what are the things that we need to prepare for that can create successful opportunities for us following high school. So we're very excited that we have representatives from community organizations that provide supports to our students, and we have some individuals that are college recruitment representatives from various colleges, not just from Northeast Ohio, but also from Michigan. And so when that time comes to the program, I will allow those individuals to introduce themselves, but I just want to thank everyone for taking the time out for this meaningful program. At this time, I would like to start off our program by introducing Ms. Amanda Collins, who is with Ohio Means Jobs, who's going to share some valuable information with us about the organization and how they support students, our high school graduates. All yours.
Excellent. Thank you so much for having me this evening. The Ohio Means Jobs Cleveland Cuyahoga County office is located centrally at 1910 Carnegie, and that's downtown Cleveland, Ohio, 44115. Inside of that building, we have our Young Adult Resource Center. And our Young Adult Resource Center at Ohio Means Jobs, Cleveland, Cuyahoga County, basically helps young people in Cuyahoga County achieve career success through online resources, through on-site services, and our referral pipeline. And our YRC, and that's just an acronym of it, acts as a doorway, I want to say, to a network of employment and training programs in Greater Cleveland. And through the Young Adult Resource Center, our YRC, young adults get the opportunity to get connected to services like job placement help, job readiness, and vocational training, because there's a lot of occupations that are coming up in the trades. And the Young Adult Resource Center at Ohio Means Jobs really want to keep that pulse and that network of those employers that are looking to hire individuals into those industries. We also offer paid work experiences for a lot of our young adults because it gives them the opportunity to see if this is the industry that I would like to see myself in a sustainable career with. So giving them that opportunity through a paid work experience, they kind of get a 2-for-1 deal. First of all, they actually get compensated for being a part of this activity and kind of getting their feet wet in this industry. We want to assist them with career as well as life coaching, because we understand that a lot of our youth and young adults, they may experience certain challenges, or how do I make that decision in regards to a career and be able to deal with those life challenges that may come my way. We definitely have to provide some goal setting, because we don't want to deter them from any goals they may have, but we got to pull a lot of our young folks out of the clouds and say, what do you really want to be when you grow up? So we have to have those goal setting conversations with them and offer that career planning help. We do provide them also with a lot of our GED services, with tutoring as well as classes, and dropout recovery services too. With some of our youth and young adults, there may be some case management that may be needed. We do have case managers that's on site Monday through Friday, Our doors open up at 8. We usually close about 4:30. And with those case management services, there may be some parenting because some of our youth and young adults, they come with children. And we want to provide a holistic approach for that service. And that's a lot of our resources too, where we'll be able to refer those individuals to some of our community agencies and partnerships with information to help them address those needs and some of those challenges. And believe it or not, all of our services are free. We do not want any of our youth or young adults to have to take out any kind of student loans for their education or training, because Ohio Means Jobs, Cleveland Cuyahoga County, we are funded by the U.S. Department of Labor. So that allows us to offer free training services to our youth and young adults. And we have a really strong collaboration with a lot of training providers throughout Greater Cleveland, Tri-C, Polaris, Cleveland State, just to name a few. But if there's a training program that any youth or young adult may be interested in participating in, 9 times out of 10, we have a partnership with that training provider where we will pay that cost for that student, because we don't want our youth or young adults to contribute to the national debt at all when you have services that are paid through the U.S. Department of Labor. We're really pushing this year, I want to say, to look at the in-demand occupations. What is that? Glad you asked. In-demand occupations are in sectors that are in high demand, where we're connecting young adults to high demand career pathways here in Northeast Ohio. Our workforce is aging out, where we have employers now that are looking for young minds and willing bodies to be able to fill these positions, to keep the economy going, and believe it or not, to have a very good paying wage. These are in the industries of manufacturing, constructions, healthcare, and IT is creeping up very fast. With a lot of these are coming into trades. We want to dispel the myth that manufacturing is a dirty job, because it's not. I mean, this ink pen that I'm holding right here, this is manufacturing. Okay, a lot of manufacturing companies, they have actually a clean climate process now, where you're coming into these centers or these warehouses or these workplaces, and believe it or not, the surrounding or the environment, clean air is highly, highly, highly enforced there. You would never believe that you're in a manufacturing site. It's different from the grandfather days where you came in and you had dirt underneath your nails. No, 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 no. Because there are health factors and there are climate control factors that a lot of manufacturers are going into. So we're dispelling that myth, and we're providing tours and those work experiences with those industries to show a lot of our youth and young adults, this is where you can start, and this is where you can go with a lot of the trades. So in a nutshell, how to get started? Glad you asked. Basically, we're asking everybody to contact the YRC, 216 area code 777-8222. We're making it very simple. We have a brief registration and orientation because we want to expedite the process. We'll offer one-on-one consultation to find out, what do you really want to be when you grow up? And we get you referred to any of our youth providers. We collaborate with about 7 strong youth providers in Greater Cleveland, and it's connecting the dots, getting them to that provider to get them on that career pathway, either into training or employment. That's about it. I'm open for any questions that anyone may have to see how we can get you along that career pathway.
Okay, so we just have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
One.
I can't, could you unmute yourself?
I'm sorry, we do have one question for you.
Sure.
How does Ohio Means Jobs provide support for high school graduates with disabilities?
Excellent. One of our partnerships that we have with Ohio Means Jobs is OOD, and that's the Office of Opportunities for Individuals with Disabilities. We have on site representatives from East Side, West Side of Cleveland, where those individuals may come into our doors and they may share that information with us. So they have, I don't like using the word disability, I'm going to say a challenge, okay? Because challenge can be overcome. And so with that being stated, we will actually have them have a one-on-one right there on site with one of our disability specialists. OOD is the new word for Bureau of Vocational Rehabilitation. And with Ohio Means Jobs, we have to have a mandated partner on site to be able to address any individual that may come into our doors with a challenge, be it a young adult or the adult. They're there to serve them. And they will be able to assist with case management, counseling services, any type of special accommodations they may need for that job. Let's say if it's a visual impairment, they'll be able to provide them with those services, no cost, again, to get them a screen. Let's say if it's an office position that they're going for and they need a particular screen. BVR, OOD have been very helpful with providing those type of services. Let's say that there may be a physical challenge where the individual may need a certain shoe or a certain brace for his or her back. They've been very helpful with being able to help them get those type of services, and even through that interviewing process too. Because sometimes some of our individuals, they kind of know what they want to say, but there may be a comprehension situation or it may be an IEP situation. So they'll do that coaching to actually help them navigate through that interview and actually do some follow-up once they get hired with that employer to see how they're coming along. So they give front-end supportive services as well as back-end supportive services and some of those financial services too.
Thank you so much. And so again, we are a district that really values inclusion. And so it's important that we make sure that all of our students feel supported and that they have equitable opportunities to succeed after graduation. I want to thank you for that. And of course, if we have more questions come in towards the end of the program, we will present those to the individuals who are on. For those that are just joining us, we are having a good discussion about resources that are available to support our graduates after graduation on their pathway to success. And at this time, I would like to turn the floor over to our representatives from College Now who are on the chat tonight. They're going to provide some valuable resources in terms of what their organization offers and how they can be a support to high school students as well.
Sure. Thank you so much for having us tonight. My name is Helen Rusinski. I'm at College Now. I'm a site coordinator and advisor at Garfield Heights High School. So you'll see me leading the ACT Impact Program in the afternoons. And then beginning in December, I'm going to be doing individual advising appointments during the day with students as well. So you'll see me around the school then. And I'd also like to introduce my colleague, Emily. Emily, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, my name is Emily Petrus. I am a program coordinator at College Now, so I help assist with all of our lovely programs like Impact.
Thanks, Emily. So we'll begin by talking about our agenda. We'll give an overview of College Now, who we are and what we do. We'll talk about the college preparatory exams, the ACT and SAT, and why taking the exams is still important. And we'll also talk about financial aid and how to finance a post-secondary education. So first, a little bit about us. So College Now is a national leader in college access organizations. It's actually the first organization of its kind and the largest college access organization in Ohio, and also one of the largest in the US in this field. And it's also historically served as a model for other organizations in this field across the country. Our mission is to increase post-secondary, meaning after high school, educational attainment, and we do this in a number of ways. That's through college and career access advising, through financial aid counseling, and through scholarship and retention services. And we provide our services to school-age students, generally middle school and high school students, through a variety of programs, including our Impact program, which is currently ongoing at Garfield High School. And we also provide our services to adult learners as well. So to talk about the college preparatory exams, the ACT and SAT, you may have been hearing that some colleges have been waiving the requirement for the SAT and ACT in this past year, particularly because of COVID and the situation surrounding that. We still encourage students to take the ACT or SAT for a number of reasons. There are still schools that require it for admission. There are also schools that consider it within their scholarship decisions. It may be helpful in placing out of certain courses. So at some schools, they use your high school GPA and your test score to determine your placement in college courses. The ACT and SAT are also used as predictors of college readiness. So some research indicates that if you score an 18 or higher on the ACT, then you're likely to maintain a B average in college. So that's used as a predictor of whether or not you're ready for college. And it's also just another data point that is used in admissions factors. So to break down both the tests, the ACT is in 4 sections. The max composite score is the 36. It covers 4 different topics: math, English, reading, and science. The SAT is in 2 sections, so it only covers math and English, and the max score on that is a 1600. We recommend that students take one of each type of test. Even though the tests are similar, students might find that one format is slightly, they may do better on one format over the other. So we recommend that they take both. And to register for the ACT and SAT, there are fees for both of these tests. For the ACT, you can register at act.org, and the fee is $55. For the SAT, you can visit collegeboard.org, and the fee is $52. Juniors and seniors may qualify for fee waivers. College Now does provide those. We provide 2 per year per student. So you can check with me or your school counselor, school guidance counselor, to see if you qualify. And last, we'll talk about, in the section, we'll talk about test prep resources. So as I mentioned, I'm leading currently a free 8-week test prep program at Garfield Heights High School. We're just finishing up the fall program. Participants do have an incentive for this program. So if they successfully participate in enough sessions, they will earn a stipend of $200. And if your student is interested, you can register for the winter 2022 session at the link that's listed there.
All right, I'm going to take over the financing college section of this presentation. So with college obviously comes costs, and I'm going to review some of this information pretty briefly. So there are different ways you can earn college credits or save money while your student or you as a student are in high school. So the first 2 on here are CCP, which are College Credit Plus programs. This is formerly known as PSOP, but essentially this is free college that you are able to take while in high school. Typically, you have to have certain scores or certain GPA to get into the program, but it is really beneficial because you can save a lot of money by doing this. Usually it's basic math and English classes like English 101. And then, there's AP classes, which are advanced placement courses. And these courses are usually offered within your school. I'm not sure exactly how they're offered at Garfield, but if they are offered here, they usually at the end of the course, you have to take a test. And if you score a certain if you score high enough on the test, you're able to get a college credit essentially. So those are both ways you can start earning college credits while in high school. And then a way to start funding your college education in high school, guardians can open a Section 529 prepaid tuition plan. So this essentially is a savings account for students, and it's tax-free and it can grow over time. The reason you can open this is just to help students pay for their college tuition, but also the earlier you open this, the better. Anytime you can open one if you would like to. It's just helpful for your student. So, and then another thing that students can do during their while in high school is apply for the FAFSA. So senior year, we would love all students to, do the FAFSA if they are wanting to go on to post-secondary education. It opened October 1st. So Helen is available for help in December if you need help with that. And then also, so that was kind of in high school, what things you could do while you were in high school to help with your college, tuition or college credits. While you're in college, after you, fill out your FAFSA, you do have to fill out the FAFSA every single year to determine how much you have to pay for school. But after that's filled out, the FAFSA will tell you if you have any grants, if you're eligible for any grants, if you're eligible for federal student loans or work study money. So grants and scholarships are free money that you do not have to pay back. Those are the best types of things that we can recommend. After you fill out the FAFSA, it'll tell you if you're eligible for specific grants, but something that we talk a lot about is the Pell Grant, or there are a few other ones that a lot of students are usually eligible for. And then scholarships, a lot of them are merit-based that come right from different schools. So that usually depends on ACT, SAT scores, and your GPA. And then of course there are federal loans, which may seem scary to take out, but I think a lot of people have loans nowadays. I know I can speak for myself. I definitely have some student loans, but the less loans we can take out, the better if possible. And then work study money, this essentially, when you apply for the FAFSA, we always recommend for students to always apply for work study. So work study money is just money set aside for students to work on campus, essentially. This money is basically the paychecks that they make can be used towards any educational costs. So that could be tuition, room and board, whatever it may be. But work study money is nice because if you can get an on-campus job with it, they cater to students' hours. So you won't be working 40 plus hours a week. You'll be probably working, 15, and it'll be around your school schedule. And then other things to do: earn while you learn, gain experience, and build your resume through co-op programs and internships just to gain experience. And then tips for finding scholarships. So there are really big, massive scholarships out there. Like the Stop the Hate scholarship is a really big one that's very exciting, and there's essays involved, but it's large and lots of people apply to it. So thinking local is usually better. So nonprofits like the Cleveland Foundation, they have tons of scholarships available. College Now, we have scholarships available, which I'll be sharing some more information about soon. Unions are a good avenue to go through, sororities, fraternities, even grocery stores. No money is small money. So like $500 may seem maybe not like a lot in the grand scheme of a college tuition of, thousands, but any type of money will help. Even if it's $50, it can go towards one book, because books are expensive in college. And then look to the institution. So most aid, like I said previously, comes from the school. So it's really lots of aid usually comes from scholarships, specifically come from merit. So your ACT and SAT scores or your GPA. There are other scholarship avenues like sports and other things like that. But if we can get good scores on things, that will help us as well. And then also apply to many and apply as often as you can. So, apply to as many as you possibly can. I'm going to be talking about some different resources to find scholarships as well. So the College Now scholarship is one. The application is now open. The requirements are a 2.5 GPA is the minimum, and then you have to have an 18 on the ACT or a 960 on the SAT. You also have to be Pell eligible, and that is determined by the FAFSA, meaning you have to have your FAFSA completed. And then you can see Helen for more details on this. But if you are eligible to apply, I recommend applying. And then we also have a scholarship database. It is under construction right now. We're adding more scholarships and updating it, but it should be done very soon. It's a really nice resource because you can narrow down things based on, if you want to write an essay, you can look at different essays that you're eligible to write and stuff like that. So it's very helpful. Does anybody have any questions?
I have a couple of questions. Thank you for the information. All the information is very useful, and I think our seniors and families could find this information very beneficial. A couple of things. I know the impact, you guys spoke about the impact program, and we're just coming to the end of the fall session, and I was able to grab the link for the winter session. When should students, is this something that students sign up for? Families have to sign them up for? When should they be looking to sign up for this winter session so they don't miss out on the opportunity?
The link is available. So if you wanted to sign up now, feel free to kind of secure your spot, because sometimes the program does get pretty popular. So yeah, secure your spot now and we'll have you on the registration. Before program opens up, you'll get an email a week before with information of where to go and everything like that.
Awesome. A second question that I have was regarding scholarships. They can be super helpful in helping pay for college tuition. But I know from my personal experience, they can also be a bit overwhelming when trying to look for them, apply for them, not knowing if we're putting the right information to ensure that we're trying to give ourselves the best opportunity to obtain these scholarships. Is there any type of, Helen, would you be someone that students can come to as a resource for applying for scholarships, or if they have questions regarding how they can apply for scholarships and moving forward in that nature?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm leading the after-school program primarily right now, but I am planning late November, hopefully, and then if not, definitely early December to start doing individual appointments with students. There will be an online sign-up link. I'll be speaking with the guidance counselor to get something set up so that way students that go into her with questions will be able to sign up for appointments with me through an online sign-up, and then we'll be able to go through scholarships together.
Awesome, thank you.
Great. And I just wanted to mention, to the families, you heard this resource. And so encourage your seniors to sign up for the winter session. And I mean, hey, after completing 8 weeks to get $200, that sounds like a good deal. So at least, you're starting off with something to go towards that college expenses. And then also the FAFSA just opened up October 1st. It's October 21st tonight. So you have the opportunity to get in there and try to complete that as much as possible, because the application process will be closing out towards when next semester comes. And so we want to just encourage you to take advantage of that. So at this point of the program, we're going to move into engaging a bit with our college reps that we have. So what I'm going to ask of our reps, if you could just take maybe like 3 to 4 minutes to introduce yourself, your college, university, institution, and then we have some questions that have come in specifically for your universities and colleges. We also have another organization, the HBCU Alumni Cleveland Council of Black College representative with us, that's also a part of this dialogue to share some valuable information on exploring HBCUs also as an option for the college experience. So I'm just going to go in the order of how I see my screen. So we can start off with Sarah McCord.
Hi, everyone. So nice to be on this call. My name is Sarah McCord, and I'm an admissions representative at URSULINE College. So a little bit about URSULINE. We are located on the east side of Cleveland in the Beechwood area. We are a pretty small place. We've got about 1,200 students on our campus, but that really creates a tight-knit community of students and their mentors. So our average class size is actually only 11. So our students really get to connect with those professors for homework help, internships, and careers once they graduate URSULINE College. URSULINE College is also a women's focused institution. We are the only one in Ohio, which means that more than 90% of our undergraduate students are women. So we do accept men into URSULINE. They can still live on campus and participate in all of the same activities, but our main focus really is empowering women and creating the education and the career goals that they would like to achieve. Kind of talking very briefly about scholarships and financial aid. We do offer merit scholarships to our students. Everyone gets at least $16,000, and it only goes up from there based off of that ACT score and the college or the high school GPA. We have a number of scholarships for first generation students and students with alumni members at URSULINE College. And then we are also a NCAA Division II athletic school. So we have 12 different sports for women, and we are able to give out some scholarships for those as well. That is a little bit about URSULINE. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go to Cooper.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to have the opportunity to be here. I'm one of the admissions counselors at Marietta College, located in beautiful Marietta, Ohio, right along the Ohio River. To give a little background about Marietta, our campus size is around 1,200 students, and that gives us an average class size of around 13 to 14 students. We are a private liberal arts college, and there's just many opportunities for students on those campuses. To also speak a bit about scholarships, students can actually go online and just go into Google, type in Marietta College scholarships, input their GPA, and see which one of those tiers that they would fall into. And of course, we're always ready and willing for any questions that students might have about those resources. Also, with our sports program, we are a Division III school in the Ohio Athletic Conference, and we have 22 varsity sports, both men and women's, available for students that would like to pursue that student athlete life. So that's kind of a quick glimpse into, Marietta College.
Thank you. Okay, next we're gonna have Ryan, and I'm a UT Rocket alum, and so have a little bias tonight, but
That's
go ahead.
awesome. Thank you so much. Go Rockets. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Ryan Chernick. I'm one of the admissions counselors at the University of Toledo. We are one of the public research universities here in the state of Ohio, up in the northwest corner. We are what you call a mid-major as far as size goes. So about 14,000 undergraduate students, about 4,000 more in master's, doctoral, professional programs. We're a comprehensive school, so over 120 different majors and programs. It's an excellent college of business, college of education, college of engineering, college of arts and letters. You kind of get the idea. A lot of different programs you can specialize in through the University of Toledo. We have long been a very diverse campus as well. So we have students come from all over the country, all over the world to the University of Toledo. They love calling Toledo their home, love being in the Glass City. We are a campus of pretty diverse interests as well, over 400 different student organizations. We're a Division I university with athletics. We compete in the Mid-American Conference, the MAC. So we play our friends over on the other side of Ohio in Kent State and Akron and OU and all those great schools. We've always been a very access-focused institution. So when it comes to our application process for my seniors here today, we are test optional. So students can apply with or without their SAT or ACT scores. When it comes to your merit scholarship, that's actually test blind. And so that means that we'll review you only based on your GPA from high school. So even if you submit test scores, we'll only review you for merit scholarship based on that GPA. There's plenty of other awards you can go after through the University of Toledo. There's a very useful tool called the Scholarship Search that you can find on our website, utoledo.edu, that really kind of lays out your specific scholarship opportunities through the university. So you put some of your information in there, and it can be a very useful tool. But the best tool is us in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions, and all of my colleagues here today from the various universities. Our offices really are here to help all of you. So whatever school you're interested in, reach out to your admissions counselors at those institutions, because we are here to help you through that whole process. So you're not in it alone. We are really here to be a great resource for you on the campuses. But that's a little about the University of Toledo, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you. And Miss Tia Marche.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tia Marche Johnson, and I represent the Cleveland Council of Black Colleges. And I am the chair of this year's 19th annual HBCU College Fair. It's being held Saturday, November 20th at Warrensboro Heights High School, and it will be an in-person and virtual event. So I'm excited to kind of talk about the different colleges that'll be represented. Of course, here in Ohio, or maybe you don't know, we have two HBCUs, which is Wilberforce University, along with Central State University. But at the college fair, there's a total of 105 HBCUs across the country. And I guess I should have started out, in case you don't know what an HBCU is, it's a historically Black college and university. So what our goal and mission is to help our students learn a little bit more about what an HBCU experience is. It's not quite like the traditional college experience. It's a little different and a little unique. And that's where the college fair has an opportunity to kind of give you a little taste of what HBCU campus life is like, and also get an opportunity to meet with the recruiters. At the college fair, we do on-site acceptance. And we also have the ability, if you register, which is free for you and your parents, if you register, you'll get access to the Common Black College application. That allows you to register to over 65 HBCUs across the country at $20. But we waive that $20 fee if you are a registered participant in the college fair. So if you're interested in applying to the HBCUs, learning a little bit more about some of the universities that are represented. And I'm talking universities like Howard University, Spelman, Morehouse, Clark Atlanta, Hampton University, North Carolina A&T. There's quite a few all across the country that might pique your interest and have something that is designed just for you. Also, on my other hat is working a little bit with the United Negro College Fund. And for those students who are interested in scholarship opportunities, I want to encourage you to visit uncf.org. Once you create your scholarship profile, there are thousands. I'm going to repeat, thousands. Let me say it one more time. Thousands of scholarships that are available to you if you decide to attend an HBCU, and even if you are not going to attend an HBCU. So there are tons of scholarship opportunities. A lot of times those dollars sit because students don't take advantage of them, even though they're qualified. So I want to encourage you to go online, complete a profile for the uncf.org scholarship, and I'll make sure I share all the links with Ms. Hamilton so that she can share them with you, along with the registration for the Destination HBCU College Fair that's going to be held on Saturday, November 20th at Warrensville Heights High School. We also have internally with the Cleveland Council of Black Colleges, we do have some local scholarship dollars that are designed just for our students here in Northeast Ohio. So there are some scholarship opportunities that will be made available. We just closed our recent scholarship, but it'll be opening back up in the spring. So for you seniors, if you are interested, we have one that's focused on the performing arts. We have one if you're just attending an HBCU. And we also have another if you are attending Morehouse or Spelman College. Morehouse is our all-male school, and Spelman is the all-female school. So we have tons of opportunities. I hope some of you can join us at the HBCU College Fair in November, and I'll make sure I put all the information in the chat and share it with Ms. Hamilton so that she can share it with you. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're a bit intimate tonight, and we do have the opportunity to give all of the institutions represented the opportunity to address some of the questions that are coming in. And so one question is, what academic program attracts the most students at your university? So in other words, like, what is your school kind of like known for in terms of their most, the academic program that attracts the most students?
So for the university,
you go first.
Sorry, for the University of Toledo, it's going to be either the College of Engineering, which I think gets the largest number of students in one academic college, but then also the health sciences attract a lot of students, though that's kind of spread out through campus. So pharmacy students, there's a direct entry nursing program, there's a med school that we partner, or we own the med school, and we have pathways into it, PT, OT, physical therapy, occupational therapy, physician's assistant school, respiratory care. So medical sciences and then engineering probably.
Ours is absolutely nursing. We're actually one of the second colleges we've been ranked for nursing in Ohio. We do a number of our partner clinicals with the Cleveland Clinic, university hospitals, and then we also have 3 separate simulations on our campus for our nursing students. So nursing is absolutely our number one. We actually have pathways all the way from RN to doctors in nursing. So that's definitely our number one. Our other kind of biggest draws are our art therapy program, our education 4+1, which is 4 years in undergrad and then 1 year in our master's program, so that students can get their master's in 5 years. And then we also have a historic preservation program, which is one of the only ones in Ohio. And for those of you who may not know what historic preservation is, it's essentially studying how we can incorporate architecture and engineering and design to keep our old buildings and old public places preserved in our new architecture and engineering.
I would say at Marietta, definitely one that we're most well known for is our Petroleum Engineering department. Of course, being a privately large college, having an accredited petroleum engineering is a phenomenal opportunity for the students, as well as our education program from early childhood to all the way up to high school, or any kind of discipline in between that students might have an interest in, as well as our physician's assistant program, our sports med program, which will lead into our athletic training graduate program, as well as our sports management side section as well. All kind of have student interest pulled to them, and are some of the top ones that we're seeing students go towards right now.
Tia Marche, can you describe like the additional support that the HBCU Alumni Cleveland Council of Black Colleges provides for students as they are preparing for their college journey?
Oh, absolutely. We have quite a few programs, wraparound services that we do for our seniors, and also for, honestly, from middle school all the way up to high school. So one of our biggest programs is our student send-off. That's where any student that is getting ready to attend an HBCU, We give them a locker and we stuff it. We fill it full of everything that you're going to need for dorm life. And that's kind of our student center love that we do every year. On top of the scholarships, we also do student workshops and parent workshops as it relates to getting prepared to financial aid, what campus life is like, what to expect. And then also financial aid is really essential, because of what we don't want, and we talk about it all the time, is the debt. And so we want to look at scholarships, we want to look at the grants. So we really dig deep and say, you'd be surprised on what you can get a scholarship for. If you write poetry, if you like to sing, if you like to dance, if you like collect postage stamps, there's a scholarship for you. So we really explore the opportunities that are out there, so that you're not just reliant on getting reliant on a Pell Grant and then, Sally Mae or call something else now. So we do a lot of workshops throughout the year. Specifically, our next one is coming up in February. And that will be an opportunity for juniors and seniors to participate in a workshop in order to do kind of college prep, what you should be preparing for, what schools are waiving SAT, ACT, what schools are not, and getting, even help with writing your essay, because a lot of times that is a difficult challenge. So we even work on, your essay writing skills if that school requires something like that.
Thank you. Okay, I want to get more into like the typical day-to-day, like what is campus like, right? So, a lot of seniors have like anxiety or just are curious about like, what is it actually like to be on a college campus? And because of, the situation with the pandemic, some, they didn't have the opportunity to do tours last year. And so the first question is your institution allowing tours this year? And then second is, can you kind of just describe like some fun aspects of your campus life? Like, what are some of the student orgs? What are some of the amenities at your facility? Like, what would you say to someone who is really like considering from this call, wanting to attend your institution?
I can speak first to that. So I think that students coming and participating in campus is one of the most valuable parts of college. The friendships you make, the networking you do, and even the skill building that you'll do outside of the classroom is so paramount to becoming just a really well-rounded graduate. So Ursuline, like I said before, is a smaller place, but that gives us a very tight-knit community that our students really enjoy. We do have about 80% of our first year students living on campus. So we have a number of dorms on campus, but living is not required on campus. So if you wanted to commute, or if you wanted to kind of get a group and get a house off campus, that's totally allowed. And the parking passes are actually included in tuition. So you can drive in and out of campus as you please. But like I kind of mentioned, we are a big athletic school. So there's always a game that you can go to attend. Being right outside of Cleveland, you kind of have your own personal campus where it's small, tight-knit, peaceful. You feel like it's your campus, that you know everything about it, but then you can also go out and explore everything that Cleveland has to offer and everything in the surrounding areas, which we think is really valuable for our students, especially when it comes to things like careers and internships and things like that. As far as student organizations, we really have quite a number of them for being such a small school. We have a theater troupe that actually has their own little theater on our campus. We have a number of organizations that are very service focused and service related, and some academic ones as well for each of our majors and our societies and things like that. If there is an organization at Ursuline, or you don't see one and you'd like to create one, all you need is 4 of your best friends and you've got yourself a student organization. So we're really receptive to our students taking leadership and initiative and kind of creating groups that they want to be a part of on campus.
Yeah, so for the University of Toledo, like I said earlier, we're sort of that mid-major school. So you kind of get that bigger campus feel. So Toledo is its own block of land. It's not cut in by any part of the city or any part of the community around us. So the campus itself is this beautiful, very, very much plenty of green spaces, a very continuous architectural design. And I know that sounds real hoity-toity, but what it means really is every building kind of looks like it matches, which is really neat because it's sort of that classic college feel that you see in the movies. So you walk around campus and you get kind of that grand feeling of, wow, this is a big school. But you always can kind of find your place in that big school, which is also a nice thing. And I said it earlier, there's over 400 student organizations. So there's always stuff going on. There's stuff to do on campus. So whatever you're looking to be a part of, whether it's a fraternity, a sorority, a religious organization, student government, a cultural group on campus, the arts, theater, athletics, there's always kind of a place for you to find your spot. And I know 14,000 people is a lot of people, and especially if you picture them all in one place, but that's not how campus is. It's spread out through a whole bunch of different buildings, and you kind of find your little spot in that ecosystem. So you always can kind of work your way into your different clubs, your organizations, making your friends. We're a residential campus, so we have about 2,800 students that live on campus and call the University of Toledo home. And then we have plenty more students that live around the area. Toledo is a great city. We're on the other side of Lake Erie. We're your neighbors out to the west. So we would love for you to come out and visit. We do have all those kinds of opportunities open right now during the week, as well as other large campus events. Toledo as a city has tons of fun stuff to explore. I used to live in downtown Toledo, which was really fun, right between our baseball stadium and our ice arena. We have a fabulous zoo in the city of Toledo. We're not too far from other great places, Detroit, Ann Arbor. I used to live in Findlay, Ohio, so I have an affinity for the Oilers down there and Deets candy and chocolate. So if you love ice cream, that's a great spot to check out as well. But between your drive from Cleveland out to Toledo, you will see there's plenty to do up here in the northwest corner of Ohio.
So to talk about some of the opportunities at Marietta College, first, I believe all of us on the panel will agree that the best way to get a real feel for a college to make sure it's the right fit is to go on those visits, to make sure, you're walking around that campus, you're meeting those professors and having those opportunities. So we're able to provide those in-person visitations to students and their families. You can have a meeting with an admissions counselor because, we're pretty cool. Why would you not want to sit down and talk with us for about 30 minutes? You can also take a tour of campus, sit in on certain classes, meet those professors, and you can even meet coaches and members of those different sports teams or organizations that you'd like to, pursue or be a part of. To talk real quick about some of the student life or just other activities for students. As I mentioned, Marietta, we have a real close-knit community. So we have over 60 plus clubs and organizations for students, everything from gardening, equestrian, outdoor skiing, even Dungeons and Dragons. So anything you might have an interest in, we might have it there on campus. And if not, you can, make it another club or organization that we kind of have those opportunities. Combine that with those sporting events that I mentioned earlier, as well as our theater productions, vocal ensemble, and instrumental ensembles that are always happening around campus. There's usually always something for students to be involved in and kind of explore and see what their fellow students are working on and kind of showcasing those crafts that they've been doing. 2 of the days I always like to point out to prospective students, we have Doodah Day in the spring, which is pretty fun to say, but it's a celebration of spring before the final semesters kick in. And it has a lot of outdoor games, music, and different events and social activities, as well as a hot air balloon actually comes to campus and students can take rides in it. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of heights, but it's still pretty cool to see in person. And one of the other days I always like to point out is De-Stress with Dogs. It's actually an event that happens periodically throughout the semester. What better way to kind of have a break from studying or getting ready for exams than to just go outside and kind of play with the dogs that students and other community members like to bring onto campus. So those are just some of the key aspects we always like to point out about what's going on at Marietta.
Thank you. And before I direct some more questions to Amanda, Tia Marche, and the College Now team, I just want to say, one thing I remember about my experience at the University of Toledo, I love the midnight pancake breakfasts. They always came at the right time when your meal plan was writing out and you knew you could go and get a free meal. I actually lived in the International House, the Academic House, International House. And then the University of Toledo had purchased some apartments that they would rent out, which was still considered on-campus housing. But I wanted to know, my question was, what is the food like? What are my options on campus? The freshman 15 is a real thing. And if I want to, maintain a healthy lifestyle and I'm not getting my mom's home cooked meals every day, what are my options on your campus to have good, tasteful, healthy meals?
Yeah, so we do have on our campus, we have a main dining hall, and then we also have a cafe in the library. And that main dining hall does have a variety of different foods. We've got a grill that's always doing fan favorites like pizza and burgers and chicken nuggets. We have a salad bar and a vegan station that's always doing, salads, sandwiches, made to order, things like that. And then we also have kind of like a home cooked foods section. So meals that you might remember from home, or, we call it like food that tastes like mom's cooking. We actually do even have mom's cooking. If you bring in a homemade recipe or like a recipe card from a meal that somebody you love makes, our dining hall will actually make it for you. So the example we like to give is lasagna. So if you bring in mom's lasagna recipe, the campus will choose a day and they will have lasagna, and they will make lasagna in a big batch for, all of the students, but then they will make sure to make a specific batch following that exact recipe for you. So we literally have mom's cooking on campus, which our students really love. And then you can kind of bring your friends and be like, this is my mom's lasagna. And that's always a really fun part of campus as well. And then we also have that cafe, which has coffee, snacks, ice creams, microwavable meals for the go. So our students really have a lot of options. Our meal plan, we do have a swipe-based meal plan with kind of some auxiliary points. So you get a certain amount of meal swipes every semester that you can use however you like throughout the semester. And then you have some points that you can use on the side for, snacks, coffees, things like that. So our students really like the food. It's really fun.
I think mom's cooking is my new favorite thing I've heard a college rep talk about. And I thought Doodah Day was not going to be topped in my new favorite things about a college I've learned in Ohio, but mom's cooking, that's incredible. Well, the University of Toledo certainly has a lot of fun dining options like Yolanda talked about earlier. They do all kinds of fun food-themed things throughout the semester. But on a normal day, regular day of the week, you certainly can find great options all throughout campus. Inside of our student union, we've got a lot of little shops and restaurants. So you can find like a Chick-fil-A in the student union. There's a pizza place, a sushi place, a taco place. There's a nice little cafe they just opened up as well. There's a Starbucks for those big Starbucks fans in the library right next to the student union. There are also 2 all-you-care-to-eat dining halls. So if you go to those buildings, you can get in and it's buffet style. So you can have as much as you'd like, stay as long as you'd like. They have like a rotating menu and they have all kinds of different options throughout those places as well. So if you have a specific taste for something that day, you of course can check the menus for those dining halls, or you can go straight to the Chick-fil-A, like I think so many of my students do every single day, or try out some of those new places because they are changing them every couple of years. So that new kind of, what's it called? That's how new it is to campus. Frogtown Cafe. I had to pull it up. That is something they just put inside the student union. So they're rotating those shops to kind of keep it fresh and different for the students who come back to campus year after year. And then I cannot underscore the food in Toledo enough. So as much time as you'll spend on campus, eating the things on campus, there are some amazing restaurants throughout the city of Toledo. It's a city with tons of really good food. Shout out, my favorite pizza in the city was Home Slice Pizza. That was the place to be. It's in downtown. It's super fun. If you like thin pizza, if you don't talk to me. But that place was really the spot to go to get an excellent slice of pizza.
So at Marietta, we have 6 main dining options. The 7th one is actually a grab and go cart in our Rickey Science Center. So, you're in between classes. You might want to, a little pick me up, some fruit cup or sandwich or something. That's your main go-to. The few other key ones that I like to point out is our Gilman Dining Hall. That's kind of our main dining hall area. The first section of it has kind of a revolving menu of different dishes from around the world or different cultures represented, as well as on the second half of it, that's where our pizza, salad, and dessert bar are. So you can see, where the popular sides are. And of course, at any of the dining options, they're always willing to meet any sort of dietary restrictions or accommodations that students need. Right above our main dining hall in Gilman is actually Upper Gilman, which is where Red Brick Barbecue is. So if you have the hankering for some nice barbecue dishes or anything like that, that's kind of the main spot to go. We also have Izzy's, which is what you think of kind of typical on-the-go food. So you have sandwiches, wraps, salad, fries, anything like that. You might want to just kind of go about, maybe go outside, enjoy the nice weather when it's out, and as well as so a few options within the residence halls. Pit Stop is one of our latest open dining options. So, you're late studying, maybe you need to pick up another snack or maybe a bottle of water, Gatorade or something like that. You can go there and kind of fuel back up and get ready for the next study session. So there's plenty of different dining options within the campus, as well as the city of Marietta. We're always about shopping small and supporting those local businesses. So there's many restaurants from more fine dining to predominantly breakfast foods, pizza shops, everything you can imagine. There's likely something that can, fulfill those late night hungers that you might have.
Thank you so much. And so I want to just provide a question to Amanda that came up. If for those that are interested in maybe more of a VOTEC path and in engaging in the resources provided by Ohio Means Jobs, what if transportation is a barrier? Can Ohio Means Job, support students if transportation is a barrier for them accessing your programming?
Yes, it is. Very good question. One of the things that we offer through our program is something we call supportive services. And supportive services are services that we offer to any youth or young adult to help them to be successful in their vocational education training, their credentialing training, short-term training with a lot of universities here that we also fund. And with those supportive services, it can range, I want to say, Yolanda, from a bus ticket for that time, or let's say a lot of our students may be using gas cards. So we will assist with that as well. We just want them to be able to get to their course, get to their class, and finish their program. So we have embodied those supportive services that are available to them.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So
Yeah.
With our college now and Tia Marche, you mentioned the numerous scholarship opportunities. Can you kind of speak to what should students be like? What should they be doing to make sure that they have a very competitive scholarship application? For example, like most of the time, Scott, the deadlines come up and you're like scrambling to write like this essay, but what are the things that they should kind of begin, keeping track of or be prepared for that are requested with those scholarship application processes?
Volunteering is important. Extracurricular activities are important. I know a lot of times we focus on that GPA and that SAT and the ACT scores, but truly, everybody weights things differently, but colleges, and I'm speaking for the recruiters, but colleges want a well-rounded student. They want to bring that diversity and that interest into that campus life. And besides, your nose in that book, we've come to realize that when a lot of sponsors, corporations are looking to provide scholarships to students, they're looking at a well-rounded individual. So it's not just about the test scores. I mean, that's important, and your GPA is important, but it's also about what do you do in your free time? So if you sing in the choir, if you are part of swim club, I would say look and invest some time into something that hopefully it interests you. You don't want to join something that has no value to you and that you're really not going to be passionate about, because at the same time, when you're on campus, you don't want to join an organization that you feel is going to benefit you, but you're not going to benefit it. And that's a lot of times a good caveat to keep in mind when it comes to being part of Greek life. You want to be bringing something to the organization. They want to know what you're going to bring to it, just like, because you're going to be looking to get something out of it. So that kind of thought process should start now, is look at opportunities to volunteer, to give of your time, talents, and your treasure, and then join an organization and be involved in an organization that you can find a little passion in.
I would have to agree with everything Tia Marche just said. For scholarships, it's so great to have a well-rounded student. There's essays available. Obviously, there's ACT, SAT, GPA stuff. But something I'd like to plug actually for the impact program that Helen runs, we have an internship opportunity. So we have 3 sessions a year. So before we had just talked about how we're finishing up the fall session, the winter session and the spring session will both have different interns. So if you complete the program, you're eligible to apply to become an intern, and it's great to put on a college application. We also provide volunteer opportunities throughout the year as well. So those are things that we try to provide students so they can, put it on an application of sorts, or, as well, we help with, applying for scholarships. So, yeah.
Thank you. And I was thinking also they might want to have in mind who they can go to for recommendation letters, because I know that's sometimes required as part of the scholarship process as well. Miss Amanda, really quick, can you just, when we talked about what we need, what the students need in order to prepare to have a strong scholarship application, what documents should they have organized to bring when they come for their intake?
Very good question. Pretty much, we just ask for them to bring their photo ID.
Okay.
Their photo ID, some of them, who carries around a social security card in their pocket, right? So if perchance they have that, that's fine, but photo ID. And if they don't have that, that's okay, because there are certain things that we can do called self-attestation that will be able to make the process easier for that individual to receive services. And very good question, because one of the things we want to do also, Ms. Hamilton, is to offer tours to these youth and young adults. One of the things that we're doing, and we would like to offer it to your graduating seniors, we're providing tours and career readiness sessions, where we're actually setting up a session just particularly for your students to come in and let's look at some work readiness opportunities and also talk about some of the things that employers are looking for and some edge in regards to their vocational training. And we're doing that with all graduating seniors. So we wanted to open that up to Garfield Heights graduating seniors to come down. Let's have a tour. Let's talk about different career opportunities and short-term training programs that are available to you. And let's actually introduce them to a career coach now, so that once they're graduating, they'll have that connection to whatever their opportunities may be in regards to employment, career pathways, or training.
Thank you so much. So at this point, we do have 2 students, and we wanted just to invite some students to share testimonials about their current college experience. And following the testimonials, we'll wrap up with any closing. I know if any of our reps have to go, we understand due to the time constraint, but I just wanted to first introduce Mr. Cam Crawford, who I understand is a student at Kentucky State University. We just like with you to share with our audience, what your experience has been like, maybe what you're majoring in, what year you're in, and maybe something that you would like to, just in terms of motivating those that might be on the fence about their decision to go away to college.
How you guys doing? My name is Cameron Crawford. I'm currently a freshman at Kentucky State. Some words of encouragement, coming into college is definitely not high school. Your mom and dad's not going to be there to, to wake you up, to tell you to do your work. You really got to kind of motivate yourself to do it. You got to want it. I'm majoring in mass media and communications. So I want to be a sports broadcaster. So that's what I'm using. What I would say, what I learned when I came to college is, it's really, it's not hard, but, it's not high school. You're not going to be in class all day. It's a lot of free time. You're going to get distracted. So, you want to stay on the right path, have fun too. Don't just all be about school because, it'll get you burned out. But definitely take advantage of everything that the school offers and stuff. That's really all I have to say for it.
Thank you. And also, Michelle Boyd, did I pronounce your name correctly? Okay, if you can share with us.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle Boyd. I'm a senior at Walsh University. My major is communications and digital media. Some advice that I would give for those going into their freshman year of college. For me, the most important things for me was to be involved on campus, for me to enjoy my experience, and then also have a planner or being able to write down when you have assignments due or when you have meetings with professors or counselors or something like that, just so you can kind of stay on track for everything that you're doing. Because like Cam said, that your parents aren't here, the professors aren't going to remind you when you have assignments due. It's just the due date is going to come up, and if you don't have it done, you don't have it done. And extra credit is not really a thing in college. So I would say just be mindful of that. And involvement in campus is very important to enjoy your college experience. It was very important for me coming in my freshman year, my first semester. I didn't enjoy as much as my second semester because I didn't get involved in anything. I just was straight to class, straight to work, straight back to my room studying. And it kind of put me in a bubble to where I wasn't really exposed to a lot of the things that was happening around campus. I didn't know of any of the organizations that we had. I didn't know that we had a Black Student Union. And then when second semester rolled around and I started seeing like all these people were doing stuff on campus, they were going places. I'm like, well, I want to get involved. So I ended up joining the board of Black Student Union as their social media coordinator for my school. And then ever since then, it's been a fun ride. I've enjoyed it. And I'll be graduating in December. So.
Okay. No, great. Let me ask the both of you, what is some advice that you wish someone would have told you to make you better prepared for your college experience? Any thoughts?
My main thing was the involvement on campus. When I came into school, I came with the mindset of, I'm only here to get my degree, make a few connections for my job, like the career field I want to go into, and get up out of there. I'm not really here to make friends. So that was my mindset. And then when I got here and I kind of stuck with that my first semester, I didn't enjoy anything, and I was contemplating on whether or not I wanted to stay. It was a ball of emotions that I didn't know why I was having it or what was going on. And after I spoke with, I actually went to the counselor on campus because I was sad. I was like, I don't know what's wrong. Like, why am I feeling this way? And they told me like, well, do you have any involvement going on campus? Do you have any friends? Do you talk to people? I was like, well, my classmates, but that's about it. So just being like open-minded when you go into school. And also when you come in, it's okay to not know what you want your major to be. A lot of people that come into college and they think, well, I want to go into nursing, so I have to stick with this. And a lot of my friends, when we came in that chose nursing, they didn't really enjoy it. So they did 2 years in a major and they were stuck with these classes and they were like, well, I don't want to do this. I'm gonna have to switch. And then they had to stay in school longer. So I would say just be a little open-minded your freshman year. Take courses in almost like every subject you think you might be interested in. Take a marketing class, take a business class, take a communications class, take a science class to see if what you thought you wanted to do is what you really wanted to do. Because you would get it completely change your mind.
That's great advice. That is great advice. How about you, Cameron?
I kind of wish, somebody would tell me like, being an athlete in college, you really weren't going to have a lot of free time for, do you. So kind of wish somebody told me that before I came, but, I'm getting used to it. I will give some advice. If you're an athlete, please get your work done, study as much as you can because you're at practice a lot and it's not a lot of free time for you to study a lot. So when you got that time, please study, like for real.
Yeah, I think one of the best things someone told me is to walk past the people trying to get you to sign up for credit cards. And that can be really luring, right? And so I had some friends that didn't listen to that advice and they're probably still paying for it today. But that's really good. I wanted to ask you also, Cameron, where did you graduate high school from?
I graduated from Warrensville Heights High School.
Okay. And Ms. Shea, where did you graduate?
Garfield Heights High School.
Okay, so you're a Garfield alum. Yes, and so thank you, so much for sharing. I know that when it comes to, this is a different stage of life for our juniors and seniors and thinking about, life after high school. And it can be a little intimidating, but it's great to see, models representing your district, such as yourself, to share the positive experiences that you had and how successful you've been during your collegiate years. And, one thing I would say is that, the college experience for me, it was a very good experience with just developing meaningful relationships with people that I still connect with to this day. And again, as I mentioned, with my undergrad experience, I also went on to a graduate program with the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. And prior to that, even through my experience being a University of Toledo alum, it provided me the opportunity to study abroad, where I actually got to study at the Autonomous University of Guadalajara in Mexico. So just to encourage those that are, tuning in tonight, the sky is really the limit, and there are so many opportunities that can come out of your collegiate experience, that can come out of your professional experience, whether you're going straight into the workforce or creating a trade. at the time that I was doing my undergrad at the University of Toledo, I was majoring in international business, which was a new major in the College of Business, and also minoring in Spanish. And with that, it prepared me for a career path in diversity, equity, and inclusion, which really did not exist back when I was in school. And even now, being an entrepreneur, having those skills that I developed during my time studying at the universities. And so really, to your point, Michelle, like you might start off not sure about your major, but exploring different options and what your interests are and what you're passionate about. And it can definitely evolve your career path into something meaningful and maybe even a path of entrepreneurship. I wanted to, Miss Amanda, you had your hand up. You wanted to add something?
One of the things thank you guys so much for sharing your stories to our young scholars. We've had individuals like yourself who've come through our doors, and it just made me think of a success story with a young lady, and she was interested in the nursing field. And Ms. Hamilton, she came to us to figure out, like, do I really want to do this or not? So she started at Cuyahoga Community College, and she was involved with their LPN program, and she did very well. And we were able to help her throughout that education piece where, of course, her least worries we want not to be financial. And then she says, you know what, Ohio Means Jobs, I think I know what I want to do. I enjoyed the LPN track, and I want to transfer and go to Cleveland State. And so she started at that community college level, and then she wound up at Cleveland State University. And we have a collaboration with Cleveland Clinic. So we're saying, hey, we have an individual who came through our program. Where are the jobs? And so Cleveland Clinic said, well, how can we network with bringing this young lady in? So we were with her from the beginning with Tri-C, and seeing her successfully now as an RN at Cleveland Clinic. Yeah. I am so proud of her. So it's not about where you start, it's where you end. So kudos to what you guys are doing, and just look at all the options from different aspects.
Yes, and I just thank you so much for sharing that. And again, we hope that this was a meaningful information for our families. I really enjoyed our time together this evening. I want to thank everyone again for taking the time out. If I can ask Ms. Bailey, if you can cue our informational slide. For those of you that might be tuning in, not at the beginning or midway, we have all of the contact information listed here for all of the participants and presenters. So you can reach out and email any of them to schedule conversations more about the college experience, learning about scholarships, or even to set up tours, if I'm understanding correctly. Also, for our representatives, we are welcoming individuals to come into our district for informational night. So if that is something that you are interested in, please feel free to set up that with myself or Ms. Gina Wilson. You have our contact information. And again, for our individuals who are away at college at Kentucky State and Walsh, we also welcome you to be a part of our student programming. And we would love to have you come back and share your success story with some of our students about what your college experience has been like, and to answer any questions that they may have. So again, we are so grateful for you sharing all of this information tonight. And we ask you to, do the replay. We know we went through this time pretty quickly, but the information will be here live on our YouTube page. And again, thank you all so much for making time in your schedule to tune in tonight. And if you have any other questions or concerns, you can reach out to myself or Ms. Gina Wilson. And Ms. Wilson, do you have any closing words?
Yes, I just want to thank everyone our audience who are watching tonight. Also, everyone who was on the call today. There was a wealth of knowledge that was shared today, and I strongly encourage, just like Ms. Hamilton stated, to play this video back, gather the information, contact some of our contacts on this line for information. We talked about things as career coaches, employment, trades, opportunities, college applications, scholarships, FAFSA. We covered a large array of topics, and I want to thank the students also on the call for sharing their experiences, because it means something different when it's coming from your peers and students, and taking those tips and recommendations on what we should do entering our freshman year. So I just want to say thank you to everyone on the call. Please feel free to reach out to me at any time if you have any questions or you want follow-up. And we will be continuing to put out information as we get it from College Now and Ohio Means Jobs and any colleges and universities that we want to partner with, and making sure that we're getting as many resources as we can out to our students and families. So thanks again, and have a wonderful night.
Thank you. Good night.